we welcome you back in-game live all access on this first Friday of September. That means we've got football, we've got plenty of baseball going on, but not the only thing happening this time of year. Dave Sherapan hanging out with us here, and I'm excited here, Dave, because it's been a long time since I've had a chance to hang with our next guest, and those that have followed, game time decisions and the original morning after there. Mick Aussie is in the house, and he was nice enough to jump on with us here live from an undisclosed location somewhere halfway around the world. And I have a feeling we got a little Australian Football League. We've got some Denver Broncos. We got a little bit of everything to talk with you here, Mick. How you been, my man?
Hold on. We got to talk about the Canadian Football League. Edmonton won a home game.
Look at his shirt.
He came prepared. He always comes prepared. But, Mick, were you at the game? They finally won a home game. Please tell me you were there to feel it and see it, please.
Of course he was there.
I was there an hour and a half before the game at the tailgate party. And, yes, we finally got that win, mate. And I was there for all 22 losses. The girlfriend came. The place went off. Yes, the monkey is off the Elks' back, and we can go down to Calgary and beat the Stampeders on Monday, and I will be there again for the Labor Day Classic. I've been to like 15 of them in Calgary. They got a great tailgate party. Elks might cover and hopefully win.
Outright win, Mick? Wow. They're getting 5. They're getting 5 points. You think the Elks can win the game?
Mate, have you seen this Trey Ford? Gabe and I and you talked about him last year. He's starting quarterback Canadian. Runs a 4.42. He can run when he's in trouble. We got good receivers. We can beat Calgary. They did okay last week, but Calgary haven't won a home game yet. And I hope it doesn't happen Monday because I'll be there with some Elks mates and we're going to come home very, very happy. Hopefully.
I love it.
I'm so glad, man. I've always missed the non-bias approach you have to the CFL there, Mick. It's always a pleasure to see that you've got going on there. But it is a long season. We know that with the CFL. But so give me your thoughts here thus far. Is there a sleeper here we might want to look at that can win this whole thing?
Well, my team, BC Lions, before the Elks, they've had a couple of rough weeks, but they have potential to go all the way. Winnipeg Blue Bombers are very good, but they're getting old. But the Toronto Argonauts could go back-to-back because Jim Kelly's nephew, Chad Kelly, is starring after coming on in the Grey Cup last year, signed a new contract. Hopefully that gets the Toronto fans revved up because of that famous name of Kelly. And he was a former Denver Bronco as well. So the Argonauts, Bombers, or the Lions, I think, are the top 3.
Mick, BC, 4-point favorite. Winnipeg, 7-point favorite as Saskatchewan. Toronto, 8-point favorite. And you just said that Edmonton can actually win. Are any of the other dogs live in those games? BC at Montreal, Winnipeg at Saskatchewan, or Toronto at Hamilton? Or are those favorite?
Yeah, look, in Regina there, the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, it is crazy. They play the Blue Bombers. It's a massive game on Sunday. I think the Bombers will win but it could be a 3-point game, but you never know with that crowd. Take the Riders on the plus, but Bombers probably win. I do like the BC Lions to recover from a bad couple of losses over there in Montreal. So a couple of really big games. And I think the Argos will destroy the Tiger Cats. They're a lot better team. But the Tiger Cats had a good win as well. So be a bit careful on the plus-minus. Argos to win here there in Hamilton.
Ooh, I love it. All right, over under. How many more games does Mick go to this season? And will he be there for the Grey Cup, Sherapan? What do you think? I'm going to say he ain't missing another game here. He is good. No. If the Elks let me ask you this here, Mick. if the Elks actually pull it off, they beat Calgary, how many more road games are you going to here? Will then? You're going to go to the home games, but will you follow them for a third consecutive win?
No.
Well, we'll be back here the following week against Calgary, so we could go four in a row.
Wow.
Right back in the hunt after starting 9-0. But we got to win against Calgary. We have to, otherwise it's gone and the year is done. But we don't like Calgary. ABC, anyone but Calgary. But that's Joe. That's Joe Madden's mob, eh? So maybe I run into her there if she's allowed out of the house. Not sure.
That's going head-to-head with JM, man. I absolutely love it, Mick. All right, so for those of you that don't know, we used to, Gabe and I used to do the morning show. Mick used to come on, and I never knew what the hell a magpie was until, of course, they started talking about Australian Football League, and I found myself as degenerate as possible betting all and Mick's best bets out there. So for old time's sake here, Mick, talk to me about the AFL. What are we looking at here coming up?
Yeah, well, like I just said, there's 2 games that happen before I'll be on this time next week. They're having a bye this week before the finals. So next Wednesday night and Thursday night our time are the first 2 games of 4 in the finals. And the first one is an absolute ripper, game of the round. Ooh. It is the Melbourne Demons versus the Collywobble Magpies at the MCG. Sold out 90 to 100,000. Toughest one to pick. I'm going to lean slightly with the Magpies. I'm a bit worried about the forward kicking goals of the Demons, but it really could go either way. So toughest game. And then the next game, the Carlton Blues make the finals for the first time in many years against Sydney Swans. I think the Blues will win, but maybe take the Swans to cover that. They're in form. No one thought they would make the 8. They were in the grand final last year. Blues probably. Take them 1 to 39. It pays even money, better than money line.
Wow. Jeez, see, that's what I'm talking about. The Degenerate Special, baby. I'm telling you, I never made so much money betting AFL. I couldn't watch the game. I had no idea, but Mick would come on and lay the games out, and I would just automatically bet them. Unbelievable.
Joe, have you ever watched it? Because I'm talking to Mick has got me, when I can stay up late and watch the games, it's a pretty entertaining product. It really is. And I don't know, I've learned a lot, too, about these spreads. When Mick says just bet them to win, most of the time, just bet them to win. Because the spreads are so, like there's, 43.5. It's like nothing that we're used to as far as football or even basketball. There's way more points. And sometimes I'm looking, and when we first started doing it, I was like, what? This team has no chance of winning. And then I got introduced to the dog winning the game outright. And I realized, just bet the team to win. The
you learn to not ask questions. Just Mick was great. Just play it. Don't worry about it. You're good to go. Where I knew it was a safe bet, and he was ready to roll. Now, Mick, before we get you out of here, one final thing. Nobody loves the Denver Broncos like you here, my man. It was a rough year last year, to say the least. But your Broncos got a new coach, got a new attitude. What do you think this year's in store for the Denver Broncos?
Well, it couldn't be any worse with that golf pack coach that they finally fired. He was a disgrace. I'm glad he's up in there in Jets land with Aaron. So let's hope Sean Payton, the Saints guy, can really get Russell Wilson sorted out. We got Javonte Williams, the running back, coming back. He is an absolute ripper after doing his knee, I believe, last year. We're a bit thin at wide receiver with a couple of injuries, but we still have Sutton and Judy. But Judy's a bit brittle too. But we got a very good defense. I don't know, mate. I'll take the Broncos to win by 3 because so many of the Raiders-Broncos games are close. I'm not sure about the 4.5. Broncos by 3 at home, and I damn well hope so against Jimmy G String and those Vegas Raiders. Without Waller. Waller's gone. He's a great player. Why they get rid of Waller? He's a Giants now.
Yeah, he must have had some problems. There's some things working inside the locker room. It was a teammate thing, apparently. That's what I heard. Over under,
Vegas
Mick. We
Raiders,
scoring a lot of points.
Your Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. You like the game to go over or under with the Raiders and the Broncos?
I'd have to say the under. I mean, do we know what Russell Wilson can do? Hope he's lost that little bit of flab and got his missus sorted out and not under the thumb anymore. I'm confident, but I really don't know, mate. It's going to be wait and see. I was so disappointed last year. The year of hope. And even if someone said they might go to the Super Bowl, and terrible.
Only way they were going to the Super Bowl was with a ticket. That was the only way they were going to the Super Bowls if they had a ticket.
Difference a year can make, though, Mick. Anything is possible. They got the right coach. If he can get anything and reverse the ways there, Russell Wilson, it could be very, very interesting. Mick Aussie, pleasure seeing you, my brother. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. In-game live, all access. We'll be back after this.